Yep, that's right. The camera's fixed now. I asked the guy to clean my camera because before then my screen was busted and the screen was a bit foggy. But now I've changed that thing, and now we got a good quality camera. Perhaps say maybe not. I don't know. Maybe something's different. Maybe something's not different. Who cares? Okay. Anyways, Samurai Week back again. Today's topic is a really bit interesting. Now this is a really interesting topic because I wanted to do this video for a while, and because now I have the time to do it because there's no more people guests that are in my house. I can definitely do this video, and let's start with it. Today's video is going to be very interesting. Grab a piece of paper and a notebook and a pen, because you might want to write this down because this thing goes way far. Scamming. Well, everybody knows scamming isn't something new has been created. Scamming has been in this world for a long time. For those who don't know what scamming is, I don't have to explain it to you because you definitely know what scamming is. A person trying to sell you stuff, that doesn't actually, meet its demands. Like if I give you a pen that gives you magical superpowers or something, or it belongs to a 13th century Ming Dynasty emperor, and that's it. And it also gives you super flex, super vision, and ultimate riz, and it turns out to be a cheap pen I bought you at Walmart. That's a scam. And most importantly, it's overpriced. That's mostly a scam. Scams aren't usually common in the ground of swords and stuff until they do. Because today's topic is going to be also about scamming and about samurai swords, or should I say, somewhat swords. But first, let's discuss about scamming. It's gonna be like some kind of a project video for like a TED video. So, well, like I said, scams have been around the world for a very long time for many reasons. Starting from the infamous, famous meme scam, the EA Nasir selling low-quality copper meme, to it becomes a new kind of type of term such as snake oil salesman, to the modern times of scams like NFT scams and crypto coin and crypto money scams. Scams have been around for almost a long time, and there are so many different kinds of scams. I bet there's every 1 second of your moment, drinking a cup of soda, an old lady gets scammed by the good old Nigerian prince scheme. It's definitely happened before. Now, scams obviously don't work if you're a like-minded individual who's critical thinking, who thinks of, you can't believe everything they say, and you can't believe everything in just in a second, such as you people probably watching right now. You probably don't fall for scams if you actually don't, then congratulations. But that's not true for every people. Now, this kind of scam is a lot more different than any others, and it involves a lot of things with my country specifically. I'm talking about this type of scam. This is what they call as samurai selendang, or samurai belt something. You might be thinking, what kind of humbug dumbug did you just say to me? Well, first of all, let me say this to you. Samurai selendang, so many people in Indonesian, first of all, they have the wrong correction for what is a katana. Obviously, a katana is a Japanese sword, the slightly curved ones. And people in Indonesia sometimes call katanas samurais, which is weird because samurai is a class system instead of the sword, which is that was the first thing that made me cringe. The first person who ever say a katana a samurai, because most Indonesians know the word samurai. So it's basically, what if a samurai is holding a katana? They would call it a samurai holding a samurai, which is also a cringy to me, including because I'm a katana enthusiast and a person who knows what a katana is, and probably some weebs would understand that and try to correct it too. Now, what is a samurai selendang, or a samurai selendang? Well, it's basically it's a samurai sword that was made the year 1111. Yes, Roman years. It's counted from the year of Lord and Savior. It is a samurai sword that they proclaim that it was created by many people, well, by a Japanese blacksmith or by a samurai shogun, whatever they call it, and it's flexible, but it's really sharp and powerful. And sometimes these swords have intricate stuff. I understand where they're coming from because it looks like it's so mystic, and it also flimsy. Now I'm gonna give you a few short videos of what the samurai selendang would look like, and then I will discuss it because I'm gonna put video first and then exclamation first.
Di Bang Gia. Di Bang Gia,
akan coba ulas lebih jauh tentang samurai selendang ini akan samurai lentur banget kawan. Ya. Jangan lupa kawan-kawan follow terus channel ini.
Nah, ini kedapnya. Pakunya. Nah ya. Nih. Wah. Sip.
Now I know what comes in your thought while you're watching that. What the heck just happened? Now I'll explain it to you. So what you see, that's the samurai selendang is. So it's basically an urumi, some kind of flexible sword that you can put on your belt, and then you pull it out from the sheath, and it becomes straight because flexibility, and it becomes straight out. But it has the thing that you can somehow cut nails in it, but just one touch, which means it must have been very, very sharp. Wow. Obviously, this is a stupid thing to believe in if you have common sense. Sure, there are some swords that can break nails, but that would not be a ethical thing to do with a sword. Second of all, the thing is, you obviously think this is some kind of stupid humbug thing. Maybe this is just a joke. This was just some people, playing with things like pretending it's mystic. No one actually did this. No, millions of people have watched this. Thousands, and yet millions. If you watched a few videos before, there are millions of people who actually believe that this is an actual sword from Japan that they used for wars and has mythical powers. I forgot to mention there's mysticism in the swords where if you have to, for examples, let me just. So this is like the samurai selendang. This is literally just a flexible metal ruler, and be careful with it. See. And if you just put in the nail and then it comes out of the nail, it's pretty cool. Only to find, whoopsie, it's one of those. There are those nails that can break each other apart. And those are some very cheap nails that you can buy online to trick people. And there's also a lot of things like in this. So let me tell you the whole basis of thing. It basically has the traditional itomaki wrap, but then there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. For example, obviously the blade. The blade is freaking flexible. The handle is round. The suba is somehow like a weird circular thing. It's not even aligned with the scabbard. I'm pretty sure that thing doesn't have a tang. And if you go to the handle, you can unlock a thingy here, and you can have a tiny knife in here, and it's said to have some kind of mystical powers. And to some people were like, there's got to be some people who actually have critical thinking, like, if this was really in Japan, there's got to be some evidence that shows us there's got to be it, right? There's no way that's not. No, there is evidence actually. You see, sir, let me explain. You see that piece of dirty cloth there with the tiny knife that I said about last time? You can unlock a knife under the handle. this thing is the evidence because it has calligraphy, it has kanji on it. So that means it's definitely from Japan. Well, great. That means it's evidence. Only to find, whoopsie, that's not even Japanese. It's not even correctly just Japanese either. It's just a bunch of humbug. It's just a bunch of doodles, a bunch of words put together, and it just doesn't make any sense. Because back then, they don't have any evidence like for swords. The only actual documents they have are the MBTHK piece of paper evidence. For example, this is an example, of course. This is what a real NBTHK document would look like. Okay? It doesn't look like made out of some kind of person's underwear or old Band-Aid. It is just a piece of paper that has authenticity and has actual meaning kanji that can be written. And if you go, there's probably a second page from behind it. It shows the tang and the signature and everything. I'm pretty sure there's no more, right? There's no more people who actually believe this, right? Maybe it was just a scam. Well, what about if it was modern? Probably people think it was coming from the future. Well, hold on there. Hold your jets. Cool your butts. Because it gets crazier. Because there's a thing called the samurai selendang tombolima. Now, you don't know what I've said. I'll translate to you. In this goddamn world, there is a samurai sword that has a button, 5 mechanical buttons to unlock the sword's length. Like a freaking lightsaber, you can customize the blade. And I'm not kidding you, check it out.
Nama Pak Kandas Hamdi atau Pak Asri ini. Tombol 5, merah bata, logo setir kapal laut, register 140032 tahun 1111 nih ya barangnya. Oke deh, coba pakunya deh. Dikepes-kepeskan dulu pakunya. Oke, udah cukup. Ya, udah cukup. Nah, ini. Oke, yang lain minggir dulu. Karena takut kena radiasinya itu. Yang tidak pakai masker mundur, dulu. Panjang bila 1,16 meter. Ya. Ini kedap hanya dengan hitungan detik saja ini. 1 2 3 4 5 6 ya. Dilanjutkan dengan pemutusan paku 12. Ya. Pakunya ya.
Whoa, mind blown. Did you see that thingy-mabob? They press the buttons and it appears out of it like an erection, and then it erects and then cuts the nail. That must have been a real sword. You can't tell me otherwise. That's a real thing. I don't know what kind of anime magic they put in there in that sword, but it's such crazy thing that they actually did. Whoa. Alright, I'm gonna stop the sarcasm right here, right now. This is stupid. Because, first of all, obviously a sword, there's no such thing as a sword like that. Second of all, why the symbolism and why would there be buttons if a sword was made in the year 1111? Nobody has reached electrical technology before in that, time period. Wires weren't available in that year. Copper wires were not available that year, including the turning mechanism. So it's definitely not from the year 1111. And the year 1111 doesn't exist in the year of Japan because that's the years of Roman, BC. They were using BC and before Christ period of time. Japan used their own time periods, such as probably year 2095 or something, whatever. Doesn't make any sense because that's a different year, and why would they even use a Roman numeral number instead of kanji by the year? Because of that year 1111, they should just put year each like that. But it wasn't. That means they will make years. And I'm getting getting over myself. First of all, you probably think I'm some kind of crazy maniac thinking, "Oh, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? Why would you even shout out?" Probably no one's gonna believe this. Everybody in Indonesia probably knows at least what a samurai looks like, or a katana looks like. They don't actually believe this thing. No. Some people got scammed for millions of dollars for this stupid item that they found that think it was from the year 1111 that has mystical powers. And that was one scam caught. Imagine imagine if there were so many people who got scammed by this. These guys got caught because they tried to sell it for 10 trillion rupias, which is about like $100,000. I don't know. But there are some people who sold this for almost 1 million or 10 million rupias, which is the equivalent of like $10,000, which is not much to some people, but actually believe this. They would waste their entire money because they fall for the scam without doing any research or finding anything about katanas at all. They just believe that these things were made from whatever year, from Master Chincha, blah 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 blacksmith, who think they realize, we know best and then we're gonna give it to you because I'm telling you, I'm doing the sacrifice here. I'll give you 5 million instead of 7 million because it's a bit too much for you. This is stupid. And also about the superpowers that I said, there are people that does these videos where they pull out a sword that they think came out of like a dead samurai's body who came to Indonesia.
Oke, tahan dulu. Cek, mundur lo. Pul, ini pul. Allahumma sholli ala Talas. Allahumma sholli. Ya. Subhanallah. Yes, ya. Allahumma sholli. Allah. Surajum Allah. Berkat la ilaha
Oh my gosh. Whew. Hats off to those guys. I thank the lucky stars that, they're protected from the evil curse of Muramasa's madness. Jesus. I hope those guys are okay from their stupidity. So if you don't know why they were looking like they're trying to take a poo and running around doing like jujutsu, so they are dukun or some kind of mysticism. They think they're shaman who believes that the samurai selendang has mystical powers. Like I said, the samurai selendang has mythical powers. They say there's the spirit of the samurai, and I understand why. And that is the most funniest thing. After that, before they did this, they did some kind of ritual, and after they did that, they pour aqua water because it's holy water, and then they chant Quran verses and chant Arabic verses. And now that's in the end of Samurai Selendang videos. Obviously, you can see it right of my eyes and my hair right now. It's a bit messy because yes, I am mad. I am pissed off. Sorry for my language, but I am super pissed off of this stupidity that people believed in. Because this is the most stupidest scam ever. There are probably other stupid scams in here because shamans and dukuns are, basically are just scammers. This is the stupidest thing you can believe in because can be debunked in a fast Google research by using your own phone and finding out this. People actually believe in this. Now, let's get into a deeper meaning of why. First of all, mysticism. Indonesian is known for a lot about being a mysticism and also believes for reasons like if you pull out your umbrella, you get bad luck. If you don't come out here, a poaching will come after you. And they believe some of this mysticism. Because we have other animism religion, and I don't want to speculate religions or you can believe anything you want, but at some point you gotta believe that this is not a thing you should believe in because it is dumb. Okay, it is a scam that you will definitely not fall for it if you're really critical enough to think that this is something that you should be considering looking deeper to it. The second one is I can't admit that my country is stupid. There are some people who are just ignorant they don't like to research stuff. They don't like to research stuff further on. They rather just be the lazy thing just to believe in it. And that's a sign of like a low belief intelligence. You should believe at some things until you find evidence of before. You cannot just believe. You just watch this and then they say some things and then they believe. That's the people in Indonesia. They often just don't care and just believe whatever they see because it eyeballing of what they did and did not look further for research and for information. So it's basically that. It's a mix of believing in animism and everything else, including not researching enough. Now I'm gonna educate you now for my fellow Indonesians. So Japan did not leave any shoguns who were in Indonesia or anyway. They came at World War II and they brought guntos. This is a gunto, a Japanese katana that was made by the military, and it's for military uses only. They look like this. They have a kabuto gane, simple hand cord wrapping. The suba is probably different, only one tassel like this. They are curved swords, slightly curved swords, and they have another kabuto gane here and a decorative ornament in the bottom here. This is what the blade looks like, and luckily I'm not showing the entirety of the blade. It is not wimbly, it is thick, and it is not cutting any nails because it's probably made in a factory. It was factory made. And factory made probably don't have mystical powers because it's made in the factory. It's not made with spirit. There are some Japanese swords that do have mysticism because it was made by blacksmith, of course, and they probably pray it through Shinto beliefs. And these are the only things that are left in Indonesia. There are many evidence of guntos are Indonesia. If you go look to a museum, probably a museum in Indonesia, in Medan or in Jakarta, you'll find many guntos. There's even guntos for sale in Indonesia too, except they look like tachi and not gunto. So these are what you should be looking for. You should also realize that you can open these two pegs to find the tang. Research gunto. Just find Gunto. Gunto. That is gunto. The only Japanese sword that exists in Indonesia. Okay, that is all. Now that's the end of the video. I hope that simple 2-minute video can educate you on Japanese swords, including to the Indonesians who believe that samurai selendang is the mystic sword is from shogun. No, they only came from Japanese people that came with swords or World War II Japanese imperial officers, non-commissioned officers, admirals, blah blah blah, and they bring with them guntos. Okay, gunto. And I kind of like gunto style swords, and I kind of like their style. These are the only swords that were brought by Japan to Indonesia. Nothing more, nothing else. And if you want to know more, you can ask me in the comments or go research by yourself. That's it about today's video. Sorry for the rant. It's just a really mad thing because